Welcome back to Seduce Me. This is part 4. All the other parts are in a playlist down in the description below. So go watch those first before you watch this. When we left off, we were picking a choice. No, shut. Alright. I didn't think about this very long. I didn't at all, really. I really want to see what this does, but I don't know what this one does. Fuck it. Let's save. Arrived at the arcade and ready to spend some cash on some fun games. I didn't want to be stuck at home on a Sunday. Besides, the arcade had always something new to play, no matter how often you came. I began to wander the aisles of machines, scanning over to find a good game to play. I had played a lot of games already with Seduce, so I just only a matter of finding a good one. When it finally caught my attention, a crowd of people surrounded a group of machines. What'd I tell you? I got closer and peeked through the crowd to see Suzu sitting on a racing game versus 2 other players who were on the same machine behind Suzu. From the looks of it, Suzu was losing, and that was causing her angered face.
You're going down!
The guy's just a jerk, and written in cursive, so it was all fancy.
Kiss my Italian ass!
Let's do this, boy! Italian memes all over the place. Stifled a giggle. Is that what that says? Watch Suzu Suzu remained playful under stress. She was adorable but feisty. Truly a spicy Italian. I observed Suzu finally caught up to her opponent and passed them with ease.
What the?
What? Moron is his name? Cause he's... Oh my god, are you kidding me? That's fucking funny. Oh. Thank you, Michaela. That's funny. That's fucking funny.
Hurry it up!
Later, losers!
A crowd began to cheer, watching Suzu beat the guys and slide into first place as the lights and sounds began to blare in celebration. The 2 jerks left the machines in a huff, and Suzu stood up.
Good game, everyone.
But they left! There's no one to say good game to! Fucking sourpuss. Slowly, the crowd began to disperse, leaving me standing in applause of Suzu alone. Suzu smiled as she finally saw me, walking over to me.
Hey, what brings you here?
I was bored. I didn't want to be stuck at home, so I came here. I needed to have some fun after yesterday.
Yeah, man, I get you. Yesterday was full of tightwad business guys, and me and Naomi were pretty uncomfortable, too.
Really? I'm really sorry about that. Suzu laughed and waved her hand in dismissal of it. Then she leaned against the racing game and put her hands in her pockets.
So what do you plan on doing here?
I just wanted to have some alone time. Yeah, let's play us a game together. Yeah.
Oh, really? What game do you think you could beat me at?
Fucking no. I think we could do some major damage and beat our high scores at robot extermination. Suzu grinned from ear to ear. Oh, yeah. Nodding before taking my hand and heading toward the machine in question. It was cute to see Suzu like this. She was always the adventurous type, and I loved that side of her beyond anything. I guess that's what kept our friendship strong for so long. Eventually, we did reach the large machine covered with images of robots disguised as animal mascots and blood. We took up our plastic guns and swiped our game cards across the credit slot, giving our credits to the game to play.
You take left, I take right?
No, the other way around. As usual, let's go! The game quickly started, and we blasted our way through hordes of robots, winning more headshots than professional shooters and professional shooter tournament players. Susan and I had played this game so often it pretty much had become our go-to high score game. We always kept the top 5 score spots in leaderboard for ourselves, but just rude. As we finished the first level through, we were stunned to see a new leaderboard at the loading screen.
Someone took number 1?
Oh, go, you can't have that, girl! Oh, hell no!
We maxed that level, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks cute there. Susan looked at me with a very familiar, deadly look in her eyes. She was determined to regain number 1. So was I. I knew what that meant. No deaths, quick reload, consistent headshots, and Easter egg points. Fuck yeah, Easter egg points. The whole experience itself ran 2 hours straight, with the main game as a its sequel programmed into the machine. Once you finished one, you immediately begin the next until you reach the end of the second game. At least, it had some cutscenes to take breaks between. It'll be tough, but we got this. Suzu nodded before putting her game card in the breast pocket of her jacket and readied herself for the next level. I braced myself for a long game.
Hey Anderson, let's make this a little more fun. Whoever has the least amount of headshots has to treat the other to lunch.
Sounds good. It's almost 2 p.m., Suzu.
There's such a thing as late lunch.
That is true. What's that behind him? We have Frog, and then Super Taxi. Is that Crazy Taxi? Where the game's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Alright, you're on!
Second level, start.
And we were off. Virtual bullets began to fly across the screen, slamming into heads of multiple robots and causing them to fall to the floor and die out. One by one, Susan and I burned through the game like our lives depended on it. We eventually had a crowd form behind us, cheering us on and offering us food so that we wouldn't have to leave the machine. Most of them were guys who liked the girl on gun action, but some of them were actually excited bystanders, hoping we would take back our high score. We stacked a bit, taking breaks between cutscenes and level changes, but we remained true to our goal. Eventually, we made it to the final boss, a giant black bear robot with red eyes and deadly attacks.
Let's go, Anderson!
Booyah! Super Saiyan! Right behind you. The crowd behind us began to cheer as we began our final battle. Our legs were a little wobbly, but we were too into the game to care. All we cared about was the large red bar on top of the screen, slowly emptying with each bullet we fired into the boss's body. Get a headshot, otherwise you're not going to take the thing. With only a few shots left, we only had a few shots left when someone called out.
You girls suck!
Without missing a shot, Suzu and I replied at once.
You wish we did!
Before landing a final blow on our opponent, the death cutscene flashed in the player's screen. I screamed, the scream of the robot bear booming through the speakers. Suzu and I weren't excited just yet. We were waiting to see the high score screen appear. It was the final high score screen of the entire game, so it was the most important screen in our eyes. Come on, come on.
New high score.
Let's go! Woo! The screen popped up, revealing our Oh, wait. I know that A stands for Anderson, but I think SC is Suzu and then her last name. The screen popped up revealing our code SCA as number 1 in the game, knocking down our mysterious MAL opponent to second place. The crowd behind us went ballistic and Susan and I hugged each other tightly in joy. It was like stepping over a major milestone despite it only being an arcade game. We did it! Woo! The second stat screen came up separately, separating Susan and I from our hug and delight. It matters of accuracy. I was better. However, Susan had more kills and headshots, making her the winner of our little bet.
Booyah! Free lunch!
Damn it! Haha! Alright. Where to, boss?
I just want some drive-thru food. I've been eating way too many home-cooked meals, man. I need at least one unhealthy meal.
Yeah, I think everyone should have that at least. Susie's family was indeed an Italian family, but they were very self-conscious about the healthiest family I knew. Susie and I left the arcade, occasionally stopping to be given praised or being asked questions about our gaming skills. We eventually headed out to the parking lot where we decided to use Jade's motorcycle. Suzu quickly took off the chains and took the seat on the bike, getting out 2 helmets, placing one on her own head and ushering me to sit behind her. I followed her gesture and made myself comfortable on the leather seat behind her, putting on one of the helmets and wrapped my arms around her waist. Aww. I had ridden with her on a motorcycle before, so this was nothing new to us. Suzu revved the engine and quickly sped out of the lot, driving into the streets toward the fast food joint.
Paradise Parlor that sound good? I'd love some paradise nuggets and cheese fries.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, I don't even get to go out with her? Just to take her home and be like, woohoo, yeah. We went through the drive-thru and ordered meals for ourselves before heading to my home. Suzu parked in the front watching me dismount from her bike. Oh, she has a motorcycle. That was her motorcycle. Oh, shit.
Thanks for late lunch.
Bitch, it's like 12 in the afternoon. Look, it's like nighttime outside. It might as well be dinner now. Suzu and I laughed. It was funny how time flew by.
Huh? Oh, nah, man. I gotta head back home and watch Francesca while my folks meet up with some bigwigs from the casino.
Oh, okay. See you in school then.
Thanks, though. See ya!
Bye. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that bye was, but it was a thing. I waved at Suzu as quickly as she headed out from the gates and back home. I smiled and watched her go before heading back inside. Suzu stuck around in my mind for a little while longer than I expected, but I couldn't help but smile. The remainder of the night passed surprisingly uneventful. The boys continued to train with each other, but they were kind enough to stop and make me dinner. I was glad for that. But we had dinner already. We had like chicken nuggets and shit. Unsurprisingly, the food was perfect, but it felt a little empty without the boys to eat with me. They most likely had already eaten, but I still felt lonely. I couldn't let it bother me. I ate and went back to my room and studied and slept, or went and study for room to study and sleep. Surprisingly, it felt good to be going to bed that night. I felt like I could have peaceful sleep after the previous rough nights I had. It felt good. I drifted into sleep and woke up almost flawlessly the next morning. No grogginess, no aches, perfectly energized and bright-eyed. Man, how long has it been since I got that much good sleep? I looked at my alarm clock. I woke up 10 minutes before my alarm. Well, hey, must be a lucky day. No, it's not. Karma owed me some luck. After all I had gone through in merely a handful of days, I deserved to get some good luck. Ecstatic for the day ahead, I turned off my alarms. Alarms! Notice how she had an S, because she's probably one of those girls who turns on like 5 or 10 alarms. No. Has an alarm that goes off every 5-minute intervals like I do, and if you don't, I just don't know how you function. Turned off my alarms before they could ring and got dressed. However, my phone started to quickly buzz from an incoming text. Huh? Who's texting me this early?
Yo, Anderson! You're carpooling with us from now on. We're not letting you waste your money on a bus. Get ready and be at your gate at 7 stat.
I smiled. My friends were the best. I couldn't drive yet, and I didn't have a car, so it was awesome that my friends would let me carpool. You're 18 and you can't drive yet? And you don't have a car? I checked the time. 6:30. Took you that long to get dressed? Perfect. I could eat some breakfast before they come. I packed my bag and carried it downstairs into the kitchen and quickly made myself coffee and toast, not having time for anything big. I let a soft sigh of happiness as I sipped my coffee. I felt great, and I felt like nothing could stop me today. Well, come at me, day. I'm ready for you. I looked at the time again. Time to go. I quickly rushed to the drawers, checking myself in the passing mirror. I wasn't wanting to impress anybody, but I still need to look decent. Right on cue, Naomi drove up in the gates and Suzu waved me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about homework and the coming day. We made it to school without a hitch. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall, so we quickly unloaded what we needed to do and get important books and necessities. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Suzu and Naomi, who were both waiting for me in the opposite end of the hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall forward. Whoa! Ow.
Hey, are you okay?
No, bitch, I just tripped. No, I'm joking.
Who did that?
Fuck you! The three of us looked back to see Lisette and her gaggle. It's a nice word. That's a nice use of that word. 10 out of 10. Her gaggle of girls. Lisette had looked in complete innocence while the girls around her giggled like no tomorrow.
Why, you little... Suzu, don't!
I felt a giant fire of anger burn in my stomach, and I stared at Lisette. Today was not the only time this had happened to me, however. It was now clear who was behind the incidents. Even if she was innocent and one of her goons did it, it was now obvious Lisette was mastermind, just from the look on her face. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. Glare into her soul! I already did stand up and walk away. Let's glare into her soul. I glared hard at Lisette, feeling wisp of air and magic run through my skin and veins. However, I stopped at what I saw. Holy shit, what the hell is that? Oh my god! I know what it is! Oh my god, it's my girlfriend! It's the Bae! None of you know what I'm talking about, but it's the Bae! I think so. I think that's her? I don't know. But it looks like Bae! It looks like Bae! That is my girl! My girl, mi chica! God damn. All around Lisette was a dark purple aura that seemed all too familiar. It was like demon magic, but it seemed to be tamer. I slowly rose to my feet, collecting my belongings, and continued to stare at Lisette. Something was off. As I continued to look at her, the aura grew, forming a shadow behind Lisette, with red eye-like shapes glowing from within the darkness.
Anderson, you alright?
I couldn't respond. I was entranced by the small hum in the air. It was distant, almost like an internal whisper you'd hear in horror games, but it was real. It sounded vaguely of a woman humming a tune I didn't recognize.
Hey, are you okay?
Let's go. We'll be late for class. Suddenly I felt the need to walk away, so I did. Suzu and Naomi scrambled to catch up and follow at my new quickened pace.
Sheesh, Anderson. You look like you saw a ghost.
I did!
Are you really okay? That fall was pretty bad. I think she saw underneath Lisette's cake face and saw the devil itself.
That's funny.
Oh, Suzu, hush!
No, something was wrong with Lisette. It was more than just her being mean. It was like something or someone watching over Lisette. Or they were watching me behind Lisette. What they were doing, I didn't know, but it was definitely demonic. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch. I was anxious to get home. The bell rang for school to end. I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. Huh? A text? From Dad? I'm picking you up today. Make sure you're ready to go when I get there. That's kind of a surprise. I quickly headed back to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi and Suzu.
Hey, are you ready to go?
No! Actually, my dad's picking me up.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
No, it doesn't!
We'll drive home together next time. Tell your dad that we've got you covered from now on.
Yeah, alright. Even when I laughed, something didn't seem right. My dad texted me to say this. Why was he going to pick me up? Had I did something wrong? I didn't know. I waved goodbye to Naomi and Susie before heading off to the usual spot where my dad picks me up. It took time to listen to music while I waited. I need to go to a Rise of the Phoenix concert. Eventually I played the entire album with no one showing up. What the hey? Dad's never late, especially not this late. Quickly dialed my dad's number again, but as soon as I pressed call, it disconnected and read signal disconnection error message. What the? No signal error? How do I not have signal? I double checked my phone and saw 5 bars for signal. He must be in a dead zone. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed at my hands, feet, and covered my mouth, screaming into the hand over my mouth, struggling to pull away from the hands grabbing at my limbs. I felt disgusted and scary. It felt disgusting and scary. Feeling their hands on me, I needed to stop. I needed it to stop.
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's prey.
Is this new? The voice, which sent a fearful shiver down my spine, whispered into my ear.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
She looks tan, like she doesn't even look like that one. I couldn't fathom what was happening. I really want to fucking skip this because I already know what's happening. But before I knew it, I was blindfolded and my limbs were quickly tied up. I felt myself being carried somewhere, was shoved into something that echoed in the interior of like a bus or van. The doors closed off. I was taken, unsure of where I was going and why. All I knew is that I was in trouble. Oh my god! You guys don't know how badly I want to skip this. But I'm not gonna skip it. Because if I do, then none of you will know what's happening. You're lucky I love you. All I saw was darkness. I felt numb and I was taken to a place I didn't know of. I couldn't even move my lips to scream. The sound zipped past my ears. The first of the interior of a car, and the outside, and the echoey space with whispers and crackles and cackles of people vibrating through it. However, the wrap around my eyes was eventually removed from my face, and my bonds were cut. It took a while for my ears to adjust, but I found myself in a warehouse surrounded by devils, including Malix, who was smirking at me.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere for you.
Or they won't. Malix walked over to me and set the barrel of his gun against my skin between my eyes.
It'll be so funny when they find your dead body instead.
Fight! No way this was happening. No way I was gonna let myself be the victim of this. I gotta remember, what was in that book?
What are you whimpering? Are you praying that the boys will come and save you?
Let's save. Just because I don't want to repeat the shit, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I kept grumbling, trying to remember. I shut my eyes, studied for a brief second, and it wasn't enough to keep a spell in my mind, but I had to try something. Anything. All of a sudden, the air grew still and silent. Opening my eyes, and I looked around and gasped at the sight. Everything was frozen in time, as if the clock had stopped. Everything had followed suit. What the? At first, I instantly wanted to move, but my feet were glued to the ground, I guess. I guess I couldn't change time and escape from where I was, but I was still lost. What was I supposed to do? Purple! Purple dream. I stared at it, glowed. It stared as it glowed, giving off warm feeling. For some reason, the thing made me feel happy and content, despite the situation I was in. My heart felt like crying, yet I didn't know why. I know why. It couldn't have been. Grandfather? Hey! Grandpa's here! As I muttered, the orb slowly grew and faded into the spirit of my grandfather. From when I last saw him, I stared up at him, completely shocked that I was correct, and that his form was standing in front of me.
I guess it was a good idea to bring the incubi here after all.
What? Is it really you? What do you mean? What do you mean? My grandfather smiled before patting my head gently. I couldn't feel it, but I knew he tried, so I closed my eyes and acknowledged before looking at him again.
Sweetie, I'm sorry for not telling you, but I didn't know if you were ready to know.
Well, I mean, now I am. That you handled demon magic? That you handled demon magic?
Yes.
Straight up, yes. Why? What is there to gain from learning and using demon magic?
It wasn't a matter of gaining anything except knowledge. Through magic, I was able to learn more about the demon world and its wonders. I even met your incubi friends.
You met the boys?
Yes, it was I who helped them come here, but it seems it was at the cost of my life.
I know the real reason why he died. I can't tell you guys. What? Why? Why sacrifice yourself like that? None of this made sense. He died bringing the incubi to the human world? Why? Why? My mind was practically screaming in anger. I needed answers. With time being frozen, we had all the time in the world. Why would you die for something like that? Why leave us alone? Why leave me alone?
I wasn't intending to, my dear. But now that I'm gone, you have a chance to find yourself without anything hindering you.
What?
Your father had always been so hard on you. I'm to blame for that. He learnt of my studies before he married your mother and pushed me away, promising to never follow in my footsteps.
He's kind of a cockblock now.
As he was my son, I still loved and cared for him. I helped him in little ways, from paying bills and making sure he had food to come home with by adding money to his accounts. You don't know how hard your father worked to get to where he is now.
I stared, trying to take all of this in. It was true that my dad worked really hard, but I didn't realize how rough he had it.
When you were born, I couldn't have been any happier. I tried to give you as many toys as I could, but many of them were tossed away by your father to protect you from me. I thought I would never be able to see you, but when I found you on the street, I was blessed enough to be given a chance. After I brought you back to your parents, I asked your mother to convince your father to let you visit me often, and he finally agreed.
Why does Dad hate you so much? Why put that on me?
Your father saw me as a monster. He was afraid I would hurt you. He wanted to protect you from me at all costs, even if it meant becoming a monster to you himself.
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
He truly does love and care for you, but he doesn't want you to be as curious as I was.
Curious?
I chose to learn about magic. I grew curious about it. He thought that was wrong, so when I didn't give it up, he shut me out of his life.
What a stubborn old man.
So I did the only thing I could do. I gave everything I owned to you, including my hidden books your father never knew of.
My head began to spin. This was too much information. It was all going so fast, despite time not moving a single inch. Time doesn't move in lines, though. It moves in circles. That's why clocks are around. Need to stretch my legs out.
I'm just so happy that my curiosity stayed with you.
My grandfather met the incubi. This seemed so surreal, I could hardly believe it. Yet, here was the spirit of my grandfather telling me. It was almost like a dream. So you introduced them to the human world.
That's right. I told them about the wonders of our world, and they all wanted to come to experience it. So I helped them come over and gave them everything they needed. They traveled everywhere, and I helped them as they learned more about humans.
Well, I mean, you know.
Then, I suddenly stopped breathing. I don't know why, but I believe it was because my time was up. After I died, the boys tried to come back. However, Malix attacked them instantly when they crossed his path. I used the last bit of my strength to guide them to the estate so they had a place to stay to heal.
That first part. So that's why they were in the house. But they said they didn't know about the house belonging to anyone.
I never told them it belonged to anyone. I merely told them to head to the estate for shelter until they could learn to live on their own.
If the estate was meant for them, why give it to me?
I never knew your father would move you in so quickly. Even still, you managed to learn of them and learn of the demon world. You even were curious enough to study the magic.
Why not teach me when I visited?
You were too young to understand. I was hoping that you would make the choice to learn on your own when you were ready to handle it. And you did. I'm so proud of you.
What are you saying? I've barely begun reading it. I don't remember anything.
I will help you remember.
Don't you remember? Then my grandfather gently bent down and kissed me on my forehead. All at once, my mind began to fill with spells and history of arcane magic, the demon world, and everything my grandfather had known. I looked up at my father again, now able to remember everything and more, and he smiled down at me.
Never forget. Make your own choices and do what you need to do. Don't let someone determine your life for you. If you decide to never look at magic again, I'll understand. But now at least you know it's there.
He didn't say not even me, but that's okay. My grandfather had patted my head before turning and walking away. I tried to follow after, still unsure and lost as ever, but I felt remained stuck to the floor. Wait, please! He didn't turn back, and he didn't stop walking. Soon he vanished past the wall, leaving me alone once again. I gritted my teeth, trying not to cry. My mind filled with both power and to defeat myself, and a large amount of confusion I could never hope to shake off. I could feel the air around me starting to move again, so I tightened my hands into fists, tried pushing away my concern. I had to remember, I was Malik's captive. I had to escape. After I could escape, I could figure out my life. Soon the world around me returned to normal, with Malik's mocking me. I closed my eyes and began to mutter the spells from my memory. I'm gonna butcher the shit out of the name, so I'm not even gonna bother saying anything.
What the? Latin? What are you?
All of a sudden, a wave of light burst from my body, washing over the room and pushing the devils away from me to the ground. As light quickly faded, I shook my head, felt a small weakness in my legs. Max quickly hopped up and growled at me, obviously surprised, but irritated beyond belief.
Where did you learn that? I will rip that tongue right out your mouth.
Gross. More Latin.
Come here!
Max charged at me, dropping the gun that would never hurt me to the floor, reaching for my face. However, I quickly crouched down and covered my head with my arms while the dark magic circle appeared under my feet. Above me, a dark shield appeared, blocking Malik's from touching me.
How? You're just a human!
A human who knows how to fight back. I pushed against the shield, forcing Malik's back before standing. I wasn't some damsel in distress. I could fight for myself. I shook out the sudden appearance of numbness in my hands and glared at Malix, challenging him once again to come at me.
Malix!
No! Stay out of it! I'll kill this bitch with my own two hands, one way or another!
As commanded, Eris stood away from us along with the other devils. The group watched us, was lost and intrigued as I stood against their leader.
Oh, you must think you're some tough shit since you know some demon magic. Well, guess what, princess? Demon magic consumes energy. I can play this all day. You lose all your energy. Your ass is grass.
Your ass is grass, and I've got the weed whacker, bitch. I glared, knowing that what he was saying was true. I couldn't hold out forever, but I definitely had the energy to last a while until someone found me or until I could overpower Malix somehow. Malix charged at me once again, causing me to run backwards to keep some sort of distance. I could feel energy wanting to shoot out of my hands, so I pointed my palms at Malix. Light purple spikes suddenly became shooting from my hands, forcing Malix to skip back. I had terrible aim, only able to scratch the edges of his body with one or two actually stabbing him in the shoulder. Malix growled, pulling them out and throwing them to the ground.
Quit playing around, Malix!
I lowered my hands, feeling the numbness run through my veins to consume both of my arms. I began to pant, desperate for some relief before continuing. Malix smirked at the sight. For the love of God, please someone find me, I prayed. I hoped that I wouldn't have to keep fighting. I was becoming desperate. What made everyone in our house drop our fighting face was the screeching of the police sirens coming closer to our location. Malix smirked even wider.
It's time to have fun, boys! Make sure you kill them all!
The devils seemed all excited to start walking past us to meet the cops, but loud finger snaps stopped them and made them turn around. Malix and I looked at Ares with her hand in the air post-snap.
Eris? What are you doing?
Eris, sorry.
Enough, Malix! We've wasted enough time in this stupid town. I'm getting out of here, and I'm taking the rest with me.
I didn't know whether to laugh or to not, but I bit my tongue as Malix got angry again.
Like hell you are! Boys, do as I say, or else!
None of the boys moved either. Iris snapped her fingers again, causing the boys to run back past her and out of the way and out another way from the warehouse.
Malix, it's over. You can't even beat a human girl. You're losing your powers. Lower devils only follow higher-ups that actually have power.
Shut your mouth!
Ooh, bish. Malik summoned his gun to his hand and shot multiple times at Eris, who somehow managed to teleport away from shooting line and reappear by us. She shook her head, letting out a sigh before grabbing Malik by the neck and pulling him off of me. Malik stared to choke as Eris stared coldly at him. Sorry.
All this for a bunch of pretty boys. You must be stupid and desperate.
Ares looked at me, making me tense up.
Human, I suggest heading home to your pretty boys. You don't want to get involved in a supernatural investigation. It's a pain in the ass.
She turned back to Max, glaring daggers into him as he glared back at her.
You really think women are weak? Let me fix that, sweetie.
And with that, Ares vanished into the shadows, taking Malix with her. As I was left alone, the police siren stopped. I looked over to the open passage, seeing the incubi with large police siren megaphone staring at me in surprise.
Where is he? I swear I'm gonna...
He's gone. Ares took him and left. They won't be coming back. It was also surreal. Oh, fuck. I think I fucked up. It was also surreal. I was helped by a devil, but quickly shook off the feeling. I was alive, and that was all that mattered. I fought to stay alive, and there I was. The boys tried to question me, but James cleared his throat, catching the attention of his brothers and me.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
No shit, just the graffiti on the wall. All together, we began to walk out of the warehouse back home. There was no way in hell anyone was going to find out about this. No way in hell. It was over. Malix was gone and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body, and as I thought of never having to deal with the group again. At the same time, a ping of realization hit me in the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As I approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down in my heart. It was late, but the boys let me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
Oh my god, I hope we have a choice.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
I'm just tired. Can I hit the hay early?
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
I looked to Damien, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts on this situation. Yeah, bed sounds good. I wanted just to end tonight. Too much had happened, and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Damien spoke up, stopping all of us from moving.
Should we be gone in the morning?
No! The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. I had to remember their deal, and we were now waiting for me to decide their fate. However, I knew my answer. Fuck! No! Oh, fuck me. Fuck. God damn it. No! No! That's not fair! Oh no. Oh, God damn it! That's not fair! That's not fair! Oh my god, that's not fair! This isn't fair! This is not fair! I want... God! Oh my god! Ugh. I'm gonna sit here for an hour just complaining about it. Mother trucker, this isn't fair! God damn it. I couldn't keep them here. I knew I couldn't, but I knew I couldn't keep them. Shush! I couldn't keep them here. I knew I couldn't. They were demons and I was a human, but I needed to deal with my own life beyond anything else. If the boys stayed, my life would only become more complicated. I think that would be best. Fuck! No! That's not fair! It's not fair! It's not fair! Life sucks! Okay? Life sucks. James nodded in agreement, keeping a professional tone in his voice as he replied to me.
Then we will be gone before you wake, miss. Thank you for letting us stay here as long as we did.
That's not fair! I could feel upset emotions in the incubi reverberating in the room, but I couldn't change my mind. I had too much going on in my life to let them stay, no matter how much I wanted them to.
It was a pleasure to have served you, beautiful lady.
No. It was hard watching each boy turn away from me for the last time. I stood there waiting for them to all leave the lobby.
I guess this is goodbye. Yeah. Have a good one.
I stuck to my guns. I knew I had made the right choice. No, you made the stupid choice! Fuck my life!
Thank you for having us, miss. Maybe we'll see each other again.
I hoped. Maybe. Maybe not.
Goodbye.
Fuck, my ears are ringing. As Damien left my sight, I finally let the air that I was denying into my body and sighed. My life would return to normal, well, as normal as it could be. However, I was smarter and wiser than before. I knew things beyond humanity now. I could learn about the boys and about the existence of the supernatural. I wasn't blind to what was beyond human life. What time is it? Fuck it. Learning of these things made me more open-minded. I'm mad. Fuck my life. So though things could still change. Things could definitely still change from when I originally played this game. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. I nodded to myself before heading into my room, closing the door and mentally allowing the reality of the situation to sink in. Tomorrow I had school, no devils to kidnap me, no incubi to wake up with. I went to bed that night, accepting and not regretting anything. Or so I had hoped.
You are an interesting creature.
I'm smiling so hard. God damn it. Ah! I opened my eyes and saw a woman staring down at me with a very sly smirk on her face. I opened my mouth to scream in fright, but I had quickly covered my mouth.
No screaming now. Too early, silly girl.
And with that, no, we can't stop yet. I could only stare up at the woman above me. I still felt weak, not having the strength to move or fight her off. She was very beautiful, but I felt more anger than amazement.
Why do the boys like you? You're unique, yes, but that can't be all that you have going for you.
Rage began to consume my core again. This woman, whoever she was, was making me mad. She must have known as she let another smirk grow across her face.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Sorry. Before I could bite her hand in anger, she removed her hand from my lips, standing up and staring down at me from her place next to my bed. I quickly sat up and glared daggers at the intruder. Who the hell are you, and why are you in my room? The woman began to laugh, making the rage inside me increase. I wanted to punch her, but I waited for her answer.
How silly of me. I forgot that we demons are not well known of in your world. You can call me Diana, little human.
I'm sorry. Diana? Demon? You're a demon?
I am. But I'm much more than just an average demon.
Let me guess, you're a succubi. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Silly girl. I'm a succubus.
I said succubi, I said the multiple, I said the plural. She's a succubus. God damn it! I stared at Diana in shock. A succubus? First incubi, now succubus? Great. I had now met both genders of sex demon. Great. Great. I'm so flustered just sitting here. Great. I have now met both genders of sex demon. Dana crossed her arms under her... Forgot about that. Dana crossed her arms under her bosom and looked at my body.
Well, you are pretty.
Was that a backhanded compliment? What time is it? 50? No, we're gonna go for an hour.
But you seem very reckless. Too reckless.
I moved out and stood from my bed, still glaring at Diana. Or Diane. Why are you here?
Well, I came here to clean up what the boys clearly forgot to clean. Men. So sloppy.
I know, right? What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
I mean erasing your memories, sweetie.
This woman wasn't serious, was she? She came into my room and spout this? This was ridiculous! I began to walk over to my door, wanting to leave the room. The boys could get rid of her. I had no mind dealing with her myself.
The boys are gone, sweetie.
I froze in my place. What? They were gone already? No way. I turned to Diane, glaring hard at her as she kept a smirk to me. You're lying.
Am I? If you want to go see for yourself, you can. But I promise you'll be wasting your time.
I stared, trying to find any hint that she was lying. She had to be. The boys wouldn't just up and leave without resting first, right? Diane crossed her arms and waited for me to make a choice. I decided to believe her for now. I'd find some hint in this conversation. What do you mean? What do you mean? Take my memories.
Well, we demons can't have just anyone knowing about us. You have to completely devote your soul to learning about us. And even then, it's not always guaranteed that you can be granted knowledge of us.
What made me not deserve to know everything? I was attacked by devils. I found boys in my house, wounded and sheltered them. I think I deserve to remember those moments. Diana let out a laugh, running a hand through her hair before looking back to me, amused.
You were attacked by a gang and were almost killed. You found 5 homeless men and let them stay in your home. There's nothing special about either of these instances.
Yes, there was!
A human like you can't understand the rules. The boys themselves aren't even aware of the rules. They'll learn soon enough.
Diana flipped her hair before looking at me with a stern look.
Listen, sweetie. You're not going back to bed or leaving this house with those memories. I'm taking them from you, one way or another.
I glared, standing my ground. You're not taking my memories! I'm not letting you take them!
And what do you plan to do with them, huh? Tell the press? Gossip to your friends that demons exist? Confess to your parents that you had demon servants and were almost killed by a devil gang?
Now she was making me mad. Did she seriously think I was that stupid? These memories were precious to me, and I wasn't gonna let her win over my mind. These memories are important to me. I know that other creatures exist. I know magic exists. I'm more open-minded now.
Open-minded or gullible?
Oh my god. What does she mean by that? The point of being open-minded was to be open to all thoughts. How was I anything close to being gullible? I don't see it though.
There is nothing to learn from remembering the boys that won't bring trouble. I'm merely saving you from that. There are more than just demons who want to keep their existence a secret.
I forget how long this part is. With that, guys, this part's over. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more content from me, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I will see you all in the next video.